18 years later, a generation's coming of age with no memory of September 11th. So the question is, how do you truly keep the promise to never forget? Karina Prada joins us now in the studio. And Karina, you spent some time with a local teacher who actually has a special way to keep the history and the legacy of that day alive.
That's right, Eric. A Meridian junior high teacher offers her 7th graders a hands-on lesson on 9/11. She tells me just because students weren't born yet, it doesn't mean they can't feel the impact of that fateful day.
To be able to lay their hands on the Twin Tower steel, and even though they weren't alive, that builds that connection.
For the last 3 years, Melinda Hurt has brought her 7th graders to the Stillman Valley Fire Station on September 11th. The Ogle County Firehouse is home to a piece of steel from a World Trade Center beam. Since 2017, students from the Meridian School District have been part of a unique 9/11 lesson.
The students are very receptive to just hearing about not only the story of the fire service and what it's all about, but the events of that day.
Mrs. Hurt says she realized many of her students knew very little about 9/11. They weren't alive yet when the terrorists attacked. That's when she decided to dedicate a unit where students read an essay about the events.
Their paper is all about the impact on society, because 9/11 did not just impact New York, it did not just impact the fire service. So they get to feel, those different impacts from the different resources we use.
After a long process, Stillman Valley Fire was able to get a piece of one of the towers. People are welcome to visit the display case year-round.
Well, the only time we open it is if we're going to clean the trophy case, and then when we have Miss Hurt's 7th grade class here, they can come in and they can be a part of this.
These are pictures of Wednesday's trip from the Meridian School District's Facebook page. Organizers say the unique learning experience resonates with the students.
We were able to show him a picture of the World Trade Center that we have over here, and then we explained to him that that piece of steel was actually in that building, and I think he got a lot out of it.
The students don't just lay their hands on the steel, they really take in and take a moment, and for us, that's not 7th grade behavior, that's the behavior of a student that's really understanding that this is a part of them too.
Each year at the end of the year, Mrs. Hurt asks her students what their favorite unit was. She says a lot of them say it was the 9/11 lesson.
It has to be that, actually touching that piece, and you look at that, and it's hard to imagine where it was, at what point in that day, how it ended up where it is now. It really puts some substance to why we're marking this anniversary.
Exactly. I felt something when I touched it myself today.
Well, Karina, thanks for sharing that with us.